Every business has unique stats that lead them on a path to growth.
All right, stand by, Andrew. 30 seconds.
Assessment to see how we can help you increase sales. Text STATS to 797979 for your free assessment today. MusePlatforms.com will build your digital marketing platform through insight, innovation, and impact. We provide a one-stop shop for Adobe Creative and Marketing Cloud solutions for businesses of all sizes. So text STATS to 797979 today. Let your stats lead you down a path to growth.
All right, welcome to the show, Fifth Street Soccer on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio Networks. I'm Nick Eber, along with my co-host, Mr. Nick Webster, who's joining me from other parts of the country. Nick, great to have you back.
Good evening, Mr. Geber. Always a pleasure to be on the finest soccer sports talk show in the world.
Well, indeed it is. Of that, Nick, there is no doubt. If you would like to call us in studio, you can do that. If there's something on your mind this international wankfest weekend in the world of international football, you can do that at 800-878-PLAY. And it's a good weekend to do that, honestly, because NFL starts this weekend in all of its glory. We had the first match yesterday. And by the way, our guys on Fifth Street Sports nailed it. But we're going to talk about the wankfest that is the friendly weekend and the Europa Nations League. We're also going to talk about Major League Soccer. Now, I know I've said I won't talk about it on the show, but I lied. We're going to talk MLS. Most importantly, we're going to talk MLS and that crazy David Beckham right here on the show. And we're going to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. We've got a lot to get to this show. 800-878-PLAY, Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk, Twitter, Fifth Street Sports, web, fifthstreetsports.com, TuneIn, iHeart, Twitch, Itch, Yitch, Yatch, Fatch, Snatch. We're on all of it. Aren't we, Nick?
We certainly are. And just a quick news flash for those of you that support the US&A. You're currently 2-0 down to Brazil in an international friendly.
No. Nick, I have to tell you, I am not a fan of international friendlies. I have not been looking forward, quite frankly, to any match today, except for the absolute one that's really got me at the edge of my seat. I'm looking at QNK Quang Nam against Ho Chi Minh City FC. I'm staying up till 3 a.m. to watch that barn burner of a match. The rest of them can just go to hell. All right, this is Fifth Street Soccer on the Sports Byline USA and SB Nation Radio Networks. I am Nick Eber. At least last time I looked at my driver's license and my parole ticket. He is Nick Webster. I've never seen his. I think he's still incarcerated. And we are on Sports Byline and SB Nation. You can, by the way, we're also on American Forces, which is great because we're speaking to all of our men and women in uniform. All right, going to step aside, take a break, and when we come back, we're going to kick it all off here. Think about this. Now's the time to get a pie and a nice drink. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, you're clear.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-430-4234. 800-430-4234. That's 800-430-4234. Copays and deductibles apply. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
The weekend wank fest is upon us, people. If you are looking forward to your weekly dose of your Premier League medicine this weekend, you are going to be going into withdrawals, as I'm afraid there is none for you. Instead, we can promise you Albania, Israel, and Lithuania, Serbia, or the excitement that is Azerbaijan against Kosovo. That's right, it's the Europa Nations League, combined with a bunch of international friendlies, where there's more substitutions, more changes in personnel on the field than there are in Donald Trump's cabinet. I'm Nick Eber, he's Nick Webster, and we're going to get right to it. Nick, another wasted weekend in my book.
Well, that was a stunning intro, Nick, and I particularly like the line about more changes on the pitch than in a Donald Trump cabinet. That was very, very good. How long did it take you to come up with that one? Yes.
Well, usually when my second bowel movement of the day, Nick, will come up with the funny ones.
Well, I do agree with you, Mr. Gieber. I mean, this I'm not even sure what to call this Europa Nations League. It is truly half-baked, half-cocked, and half-thought-through, and no one seems to really know how it works, why it works, and why the hell we're even doing it. England played Spain. France and Germany played out a 0-0 draw. UEFA are meant to be the guardians of the game in Europe. And honestly, this whole tournament, even UEFA officials don't seem to know exactly how it's going to work, and one wonders why we're even doing it.
Yeah, it is a good question, Nick, isn't it? I mean, look, you and I both know the reason why we're doing it, Nick. Come on.
Well, it's money. Because
it's the dosh, right? It's the dosh.
They've managed to sell the rights to Sky and ITV for some exorbitant sum, and I'm sure ITV and Sky are now regretting their foolish purchase. But as they say, what is it? Buy in haste, repent in leisure.
Oh, very nice, Webster. Very nice. The other thing this does, though, is it's supposed to give meaningless friendlies a little bit of meaning. And you just can't, really. You've got Euros every 2 years. And the way the cycle works is you have a big tournament every 2 years. It's the World Cup or it's the Euros. And in the in-betweenies, you got qualifying. And then the teams have to play a little bit to get a little lubricated so the coaches can see what's going on. He can try players. And that's when you have the ICC and the international money-spinning friendlies and all the rest of this nonsense. I personally can't stand those, and I don't ever watch them, Nick. I am not watching the United States and Brazil. I could give a snuff about it. Would I spend $400 for a ticket? Never in a million years. But then I'm unlikely to spend $400 on anything, Nick, because you got to have it to spend it. So the way I look at it is this. If you can't wait 2 years, every 2 years for a big tournament and enjoy the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga or whatever it is you enjoy in the interim, you need to see some therapist.
I agree with you, and I had a thought. Okay, I had a thought. This thought was yesterday. It was after a bowel movement, so I can't credit the bowel movement. But I was thinking this: why not?
Oh, so hold on. You've finally got rid of that obstruction, then?
Yes.
Oh, good for you.
Why not get rid of all these stupid FIFA dates and end the season? Because if you get rid of the FIFA dates, and the season ends maybe 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks earlier than usual.
Right.
And then use that time for the international teams to get together and play, a little round robin with each other.
Why not, Nick? It's a great idea. It's a much better idea. You put less stress on the teams, less worry for the coaching staff of those teams and the guys that sign the big paychecks. If someone gets injured during the round robin, they've got the entire off season to get to recover before they come back. But Nick, the problem with that is it makes too much sense, and no one's going to make any money on that because you came up with the idea and you can't sell it.
Well, I'll do my best to say.
That's your agent, Nick.
It's the FA on the phone right now saying absolute. No, but I want you to think about this carefully, Nick. Though each international break is say 10 to 11 days. There's 2.5 in the season, so that's approximately 24, 25 days of football.
Right.
Which, as I said, is 3 to 4 weeks. If the Premier League season ended in mid-April, you then get you give the players 2 weeks off, so they now meet again at the the beginning of May. The international manager has them from May that May date until the beginning of June. They play a little tournament for 10 days. And then they just move back to their club teams.
Yeah, it's a great idea, Nick. It's entirely too simplistic and simple and common sense and quite frankly entertaining. You could buy a whole package of tickets. It could be like the rugby sevens, right? Where you just show up.
This, you could actually sell tickets to training.
What? Shocking. I
mean, you could.
But what's happened, Nick?
You could actually make all money. Think about this. I mean, Think about how many sad sacks would pay $10.99 to have exclusive rights to England training for a week.
I'm scratching my head about that, but quite a few, I would think. Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's a good idea, Nick. The thing about it is the football landscape has changed so much since there was this whole cycle of Euros and World Cups and the qualifying and friendlies, in that the club competitions have gone on longer and longer now. There's a lot more of them. There's a lot more strain on the players. The value of the players have gone through the ceiling to the point that they're now such prized assets that clubs and managers are absolutely loath to release them for international duty unless it is, quote, the big show and absolutely necessary. And fans have become spoilt with the likes of the Champions League and the Premier League and all the big leagues in Europe and the inter-European play, to the point that really it's just not that interesting on a lot of it. It used to be that, the England-Scotland game was just a massive, massive match. When everybody cared about. No one could give a snot about it anymore because the Man United-Liverpool matches got more cachet, or the Chelsea-Arsenal, or the City United match. In other words, those international rivalries have become less and less. Unless, of course, you're talking about Albania and Kosovo, and they want to kill each other. But it's a little bit different. Those sort of football rivalries, Nick, those international footballing rivalries. I'm talking about political rivalries, footballing rivalries. I would say they're a lot less than what they used to be.
Yes, it is a shame. And I think it's because the world is becoming a little bit smaller, and the fact that our teams are so cosmopolitan and so international now that, you really can't hate another country because your club team's stuffed with
four players from that country, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, but that's exactly it, Nick. That's exactly it. I mean, it used to be, who was the first big foreign player in the Premier League? Come on, Nick. In First Division. Tottenham. Come on, Tottenham.
Yeah, it's Dealers and Ricky Villa.
Of course. Yeah, right. And people would show up to see them. This was an anomaly. Oh, my God. Look at that. Everyone else is English. Or from, But no, or Scottish. No. But now, you could throw a dart in the pitch and not hit anyone from England or Scotland.
Unfortunately,
not at Spurs. Not at Spurs, though.
Yeah, not at Spurs.
All right. Well, that's what we're talking about today. Love to hear from you. What do you think? What's the point of the Nations League? What's the point of these international friendlies? From you, a fan's perspective, we get what the point is from the team and the national team and the coaching staff's perspective. We get, respect, and understand that. But is that really something you want to shell out bucks for? Is it that interesting to you? 26 substitutions and, could be a 0-0 snooze fest. And maybe the player you came out to see didn't even show up or didn't make the trip, or maybe it's the under-21s that have been promoted for the day. You just never know what you get. Is it worth the big bucks? What do you think? Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk. Twitter @Fifth Street Sports. YouTube.com/Fifth Street Sports. FifthStreetSports.com. But you can hear us also on Sports Byline, SB Nation, American Forces, iHeart, TuneIn, and we're streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. I think that is honestly a regurgitation, a mind dump of every outlet that we're currently broadcasting on. I'm Nick Eber. He is Nick Webster, and we are going to take a break. And when we come back, let's talk about Major League Soccer, and probably the most ridiculous story all year.
You're clear.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Pedro Fernandez here. You might know me as the host of Ring Talk Live Worldwide, but this time I'm here to talk about that four-letter word everybody dreads, pain. If you have back pain or knee pain like I do, hey, you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. I'm talking about if Medicare is your primary medical insurance, and guess what? You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. Anything to help me with the pain, hey, makes it more manageable, gets my attention, folks. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for your back, ankle, knee, or shoulder, guess what? Give the Health Alert Hotline a call. Toll free. 1-800-428-1570. 1-800-428-1570. You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. 1-800-428-1570. The Health Alert Hotline. 1-800-428-1570.
That is seriously the mellowest music for a high-energy show. Kind of makes you want to fall asleep. All right, well, don't fall asleep because you're back with Fifth Street Soccer here on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio, American Forces. Nick Eber, Nick Webster, and we have a lot to get to today. Nick, have you been following this ludicrousness in Miami?
Into Miami. Internacional de Miami.
Right. So,
Internacional de Football Club de Miami. Yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, I would have thought Bex could have come up with something a little bit more original, but
Posh FC. Posh FC.
Free kick FC. I'll take your free kicks for England,
All right.
I mean,
well, look, Nick.
Into what? Yes, into what? What a great chyron you've just thrown there on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, right. So, Nick, look, Major League Soccer, and I mentioned this the other day when I'd come back from the All-Star game. This is a group of people that are completely overwhelmed with the self-importance, pomposity. They've gone from their little renegade rogue league that could to seeing themselves as the 800-pound soccer titan, global soccer titan, harnessing the power of America's soccer future. They see themselves as uniquely American. There's no promotion. There's no relegation. We don't need anything that you guys have done. We do it on our own. We have salary caps. We don't need transfer windows. We're going to have the reverse. They do have transfer windows, actually, but we're going to use the reverse seasons on what you have because we're different, damn it. We don't need you to justify us because we are Major League Soccer. And that is why we call our teams Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City. I mean, Nick Webster, it's first of all, Real means royal, okay? It has to do with Madrid and its royal charter. How on earth does Salt Lake have anything to do with royalty? Unless it's Joseph Smith or whatever the Mormon Tabernacle Choir is doing there. But I don't even think that's royalty. That's like religious hierarchy. Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City. Are you kidding me, Nick Webster?
Mr. Geber, what I will say is that is a 1,000% improvement on what they used to be called the Kansas City Wiz. I mean, the Kansas City Wiz? The Dallas Burn?
But that's so. But Nick, but listen, I've come to take a contrarian view.
The Miami Fusion? Look, but the baseline was already so low that look. I understand where you're coming from, but for me, Sporting Kansas City is such an improvement over the Kansas City Wiz. I mean, I'm actually still surprised that the Galaxy is called the Galaxy. It's kind of a really lame name as well.
It is a little. But didn't Nike come up with the original MLS names?
No, it was Adidas.
Oh, Adidas, not Adidas. Adidas.
Adidas, as you and I like to say. Yeah, it's look, we're in America, so we have to accept the fact that they are going to butcher and bastardize anything to do with our sport. And unfortunately, Beckham, for all his wonderfulness and everything that he's given to the sport, has fallen into the same kind of trap. Because the full name of the club, do you happen to have it in front of you?
Well, I do. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that in a minute, Nick.
It's quite the tongue twister.
It is indeed. Look, from my perspective, Nick. First of all, most European and South American names of football teams go back a long time. In the case of South America, most of them were created by English expatriates who moved abroad, and these were their athletic clubs and or their recreational football teams that they had while they were running their plantations or doing whatever. Newell's Old Boys, for example. Same thing, Young Boys. This is all where these names came from. You would not be surprised to know that there's more than one Arsenal FC out there, by the way. And that's because of the way the game spread. And in terms of in England and in Scotland, these football teams largely came up as local athletic clubs for the neighborhood. And so you might have a team. I'm just explaining some basics here, Nick, for our listeners if they didn't know it. So you might have a boxing club at Chelsea, for example, Chelsea Boxing Club. You might have Chelsea Football Club. Do you understand where we're going with this? So these are old historical names. So, Real Madrid is the football team from Madrid that has a connection with the Spanish royalty. That's why it's Real Madrid. Spartak Moscow, Red Star Belgrade. I mean, what are we going to have? Like a Red Star Poughkeepsie? So, at some point, you got to accept the history. And that's why, Nick, I have less of a problem, surprisingly enough, Nick Webster, with the Los Angeles Galaxy. Or even the very basic LA Football Club, because that is a football club in LA. If 100 years from now, when we're scooting around the galaxy in our own private nuclear-powered shuttles, going, hey, I support the LA Galaxy. I remember they won the Cup 400 years ago. It's going to seem like you're talking about Arsenal. Right, Nick?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think there has to be a connection, this hometown connection. And, as much as I deride the name the Galaxy, I guess it does have a Hollywood-ish ring to it.
A galaxy of stars.
A galaxy of stars. That's right. But we're getting on to Beckham's name.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Hold your horses, Mr. Nick Webster.
Killing me. What the big reveal?
Yeah. So the thing about it is this, Nick. If there have been some great American teams going back. If you wanted to call your team the Chicago Bricklayers or the Fall River Marksmen or the New York Hakoah or the New York Nationals, you'd be all right because these are teams that played back in the 18 and 1900s, soccer teams. And that has history. And even though it sounds a little weird to us, those teams are out there, or the Urich Truckers. The New York Americans won the U.S. Open Cup in 1937. Now, that name just seems to roll, doesn't it, Nick? The New York Americans?
I love it. I mean, what a great name for a team. I'm surprised that, NYFC didn't see it was available.
Instead, Nick, David Beckham decides to call his team...
Drum roll.
Club Internacional de Football Miami. What the hell is that? First of all, Nick Webster, there are only two Inters. Inter Miami, they're calling myself. If you find a fan of Internacional in Italy and you call their team Inter Milan, they will smack you in the head.
Yes. True. I have to wonder what happened in that meeting with the investors where they unveiled the name, or who unveiled the name, whose idea was it? I mean, it couldn't have been Beckham's name, could it? Could it really have been Beckham's idea?
Well, could he spell Internacional?
I would struggle to spell Internacional, and I've been involved in football for 20 years.
And why is it we always have to say football with the F-U-T, F-U with the little thingy and the T-B-O-L? This is America. We speak English here.
Football. Well, I think they're trying, it's a very, very lame appeal to the Hispanic market in Miami.
And the Hispanic market knows football. And the Hispanic market is not easily sold on a non-genuine product.
And the Hispanic market in Florida has been absolutely brutal. The Miami Fusion sleeps with the fishes. the Tampa Bay. I know
Tampa Bay. It was the mutiny. Was it the mutiny?
The mutiny, yes. The Tampa Bay Mutiny sleeps with the Fishes. Of course, a couple of very famous old NASL clubs, the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, sleep
the Tampa
with the
Bay
Fishes,
Rowdies,
sleep with the Fishes. I mean, Miami, in fact,
the Rowdies play in USL now.
Yeah, but the Florida
as you said, sleep with the Fishes. Yeah,
has been particularly brutal with professional football clubs. And so the fact that the name is pandering to the Hispanic community.
It's not even that, Nick. It's not even that. It's trying to reach in and buy and create through some marketing voodoo magic some sort of football bona fides, and they're all nonsense. Nick Webster, as you know, there's been a big push to have a Major League Soccer team in my hometown here in Las Vegas. So might I suggest, Nick, that I have the perfect name for them. Are you ready?
Go on.
Club Deportivo Real ACFC Inter Las Vegas United FC. What do you think?
It just rolls off the tongue.
All right. We've got to go to break. Mystery Soccer Sports Byline USA. I'm Nick Eber. He's Nick Webster. We're going to come back, talk a little Premier League, and what's going on with Spurs. If you're a Spurs fan, you want to stay tuned, and if not, you want to stay tuned anyway. We'll be right back.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor. Come to Lowe's to kick off all kinds of outdoor projects to get your yard fall ready. Get natural areas around trees and shrubs looking their best with Preen Mulch with Weed Preventer and get 3 bags for just $10. Ready for fall colors? Refresh your planters and container gardens with colorful 3-quart mums, now only 3 for $12. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 9/12.
Scott,
While supplies
you
last.
talking to me?
Selection varies by location. See store for details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
No.
Okay.
Hey, travelers. Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
All right, welcome back. This is Nick Eber, along with Nick Webster here on Fifth Street Football. We should call ourselves Club Fifth Street Football Techitos. There we go.
I love it. In fact, I insist. In fact, I'll never come on the show again unless we are Club de Football de Fifth Street.
The Fifth Street, yes, exactly. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the last segment discussing the ludicrous name for David Beckham's new team. It's really cool, actually, I hate rolling segments over, Nick. It's bad radio, bad TV, you know that. But we're going to do it anyway here because the U.S. Open Cup is the oldest cup competition in a sporting cup competition in America for soccer. Obviously not baseball. That's had since 18 something or other, right? But since 1913, when the Brooklyn Field Club beat the Brooklyn Celtic for the first iteration of the U.S. Open Cup, we've had some wonderful teams, Nick. Bethlehem Steel, the Robbins Dry Dock, Vespa Buick FC. I mean, this is some awesome stuff. There's a really rich history of soccer in America, and I just wonder why MLS turns their back on it. And we know they did because when they came into the league, they had a lot of options for picking up some of the really storied brands from NASL and American soccer history, and they chose to have Adidas redo all the names to, the Wiz and the Galaxy and, all of that. The Burn, the Dallas Burn, and the Tampa Bay no, not the Rowdy. What were they? The Tampa Bay, whatever they were.
Yeah, I don't know.
Miami Heat. There we go. My history's not so good. But, yes, so, there was some great history. And I know the issue with the Cosmos and the fact that Major League Soccer didn't want to pay a licensing fee for the Cosmos name and felt that there would be an issue with starting Major League Soccer with the stigma of any NASL issues. If you remember, the NASL disbanded in, when was it, 82? Was it? When did the NASL disband?
Yeah, it was the mid-'80s.
Yeah, it was the mid-'80s, right? I'll look it up on my brain, Wikipedia, and it'll tell me. It disbanded in the mid-'80s, 84 actually, and Major League Soccer coming back didn't want any of that stigma, any of that NASL stink. So they completely turned their back on the what is still one of the largest brands in American soccer, which is the New York Cosmos, the team that Pele played on. Beckenbauer played in NASL as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they had some great people playing in NASL, albeit, at the twilight of their careers. And so MLS decided they would turn their back on it. Now MLS has some great people playing at the twilight of their careers in much the same way, but they've expanded with much richer people owning the teams who are willing to lose a lot of more money in the league and who've really taken a long-term view. And that's really more of their what makes them different. But they turned their back on all these old brands, Nick, and they decided to go with this shiny new stuff. And I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a mistake as well. I think the fact that soccer in this country does have a rich history and it was so unceremoniously swept under the carpet really was a big opportunity missed by MLS and by their partners, Soccer United Marketing and Adidas as well. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that many of the people involved in soccer in this country actually have no clue about soccer whatsoever. They are business people first and foremost. They really don't care about the heritage of the sport, the history of the sport. And they seemingly don't care about the fact that many people have put in thousands of hours voluntary and somewhat underpaid to make the sport where it is today. So until those people are swept out of power, the rich history of the sport is going to be given short change. So we are in a situation where, as you rightly noted, that the US Open Cup is the oldest cup competition in the US. It's older than the World Series. It's certainly older than the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. And yet you'd be hard-pressed to stop a man in the street and ask them about the US Open Cup. They'd be like, oh, is that a golf tournament?
Yeah, ain't that golf?
And,
hey, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, and it surprises me to this day that, even though MLS clubs are taking it somewhat more seriously, that the US Open Cup doesn't have a better TV deal? I mean,
but what soccer does have a good TV deal here other than the European leagues and Champions League? Let's be honest. I mean, the MLS deal is weak.
Well, Fox
better than it was, but
Fox paid something like $80 million for it.
And I remember when Major League Soccer was paying networks to carry their broadcast not too long ago, 15,
not too long ago.
Yeah,
no, you are right.
So, they've come a long way for sure, but there is a difference. Nick, let's talk about ancient history and leagues, storied leagues. Let's go straight to the Premier League, shall we? Even though its history...
Thank God, I never thought you'd ask.
Its history isn't that ancient, to be honest with you, but it is certainly the best league in the world in terms of excitement and teams from top to bottom. And, I think you saw that, if anyone questions whether the Premier League is the best league in the world, I didn't say has the best teams in the world, I said it's the best league in the world, you just have to ask yourself why we're 4 matches in and Watford are unbeaten. I mean, I challenge you to find any other league where you're 4 or 5 matches in and you got a team like Watford that's displacing Manchester City and Tottenham and Arsenal and Manchester United. That's why the league's so exciting, Nick.
Yes, well, from top to bottom, the Premiership is world-renowned for strength in depth. Yes, the top 6 are going to win it. Obviously Leicester City a few years ago was the anomaly. But the great thing about the Premier League is that the top 6 or whoever wins the Premier League will benefit from the fact that a Chelsea or a Liverpool or a Spurs lose to a Cardiff, and it's going to happen. It's not like it's never going to happen. You can guarantee, you could bet your house on the fact that one of the top 6, and we're talking City, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Spurs, will lose to someone in the bottom 3. It's going to happen. I don't know when, unfortunately.
Well, Nick, it's fascinating because if you would have told me that Watford are going to be there, I wouldn't have believed you. And the funny thing is that this time, 3 seasons ago, Leicester City were in exactly the same position. 4 matches in, they were 3rd in the table. Now, what's incredible about Watford's run of these 4 matches is that they have scored as many goals as Liverpool. And they have conceded only 2 more. It's not like they've eked their way through. Now, I will admit they've not played, the world's greatest teams in Brighton, Hove Albion, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. Although Crystal Palace, fully capable of putting a hurt on you if they have a good day. But then to beat Tottenham 2-1, did they just find Tottenham in an off day, or have Tottenham got real trouble winning hard games, Nick?
I think maybe it was a combination of both. Tottenham did take the lead in that game, and then they were undone by 2 set pieces, which is the bane of every manager. And I'm sure Pochettino, perhaps most definitely lost his mind in the dressing room after the game. I mean, you can't lose to set pieces, but Tottenham were very underwhelming. And you look at what's going on at Spurs, and we've spoken about the fact that they're going to go to their new stadium, and that keeps them getting pushed back. And all of a sudden, it's like we're playing at Wembley, and we're not sure where we're playing. And I will tell you this about players, and having worked at the professional level, players are creatures of habits, Nick. They want to know exactly what is going on, and when they don't, they get a little unsettled.
Yeah.
And as you just mentioned, the beauty of the Premiership is that the bottom team can beat the top team, and the top team only has to be off by a fraction of a percent, and they'll lose the game. And I think maybe Tottenham were a little discombobulated. They're not going to be home when they think they're going to be home. They're not going to be staying in their own beds. They're going to be on the road. They're going to be in strange hotels. And they weren't 100% against Watford, and Watford took advantage. And what happens, which we saw with Leicester, is that if one of these underdog teams all of a sudden catches fire, well, they start doing this thing, which is the most powerful substance in all of football. They start believing. And if a team has belief, anything is possible.
Well, Nick, we're going to find a lot not this weekend, obviously, because this is the International Wank Fest, but the following week, when Watford will be facing Manchester United, and that is, however, it is home, not away. It's not at Old Trafford. So if Watford can get 3 points against Manchester United, Nick, we're going to have to potentially look at a massive upset here. And the reason I bring this up is because, these quote-unquote lesser teams that may be better than other lesser teams are always expected, if they're going to be a mid-table team, to beat the teams below them. But they're never expected to take points from the big boys. And with Watford, everyone was saying, oh, yeah, well, they had 3 easy games, and now they're playing Tottenham, and this will be the end of it. Myself included, well, we got to eat a little humble pie.
Yeah, I mean, look, Leicester took everybody by surprise, and we kept on saying, they're going to lose to United. Wrong. They'll lose to City. Wrong. There's no chance against Liverpool. Wrong.
Yeah.
And I think we could potentially, I thought United were much improved actually against Burnley, but it was Burnley coming off getting bounced out of the Europa League. But if Watford do put 3 points on Manchester United, I think we seriously have to say that Watford have the chance to be a contender.
Absolutely.
Because you can't take 6 points off the top 6 teams and not be a contender.
Well, Nick, the other big match coming up, and it is a massive match, is going to be at Wembley, where Liverpool will be going to see Tottenham Hotspur and have a great match. The winner of this match is really going to be a step ahead in the title race. I know we're 5 matches in, but this is one of these really, really, really important matches, Nick. It's a 6-pointer.
No, it's definitely a 6-pointer. I mean, Liverpool have come flying out of the blocks, and they've won games that previously in the past, I think they may have stubbed their toe. Brighton, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They really had to grind it out. Now, the last time they went to Wembley to play Tottenham, Lovren got his pants pulled down by Harry Kane, and Liverpool got spanked. I believe it was 4-1 or 4-0.
I forget that day.
It really was a kind of a seismic result. Now, Tottenham, certainly have to bounce back after the loss against Watford. Liverpool currently unbeaten. If Liverpool go to Wembley, and mark my words, and put this one down in the books, Andrew Geber, because I want this one to be remembered. If Liverpool go to Wembley and beat Tottenham, Liverpool will be Premier League champions. I put that much store in the result in 8 days' time.
Well, Nick Webster, that's quite a statement, because just a few weeks ago, City were going to repeat. Then they dropped 2 points, and all of a sudden we're talking about Liverpool being crowned champions. But I will say this, City just haven't looked quite as convincing as I thought we thought they would. But we can touch on that for a couple of minutes when we come back, before we wrap the show up here on Fifth Street Soccer here on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio. Once again, a reminder, be sure to sign up for our new soccer club, Club Deportivo Real ACFC Inter Las Vegas United FC. We'll be right back.
You're clear.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. 800-535-7789. That's 800-535-7789.
Are you an inventor who would like to try to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to companies, but you don't know what to do next? Call for free information from InventHelp. InventHelp, a leading inventor service company, has been helping inventors since 1984 and has sales offices located in more than 60 cities nationwide. You'll want to talk to the company that has helped secure more than 7,000 invention patents. So,
hey, Nick. Nick? Andrew?
Yep.
When
Yep.
is this show good till? Can I use it tomorrow if I need it?
You can use Evergreen.
Is this a good for TFN?
Evergreen.
Right, till further notice, correct?
Yep, that's it. Keep going. You can use it as much as you want.
Thank you.
1738.
Okay.
800-3138.
I'll mark it as such.
Thank you very much.
1-800-316-1738.
All right, welcome back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline USA, SB Nation, American Forces. Nick Eber, Nick Webster with you. That's the two Nicks. Very quickly, Nick Webster, the one thing that will not happen this weekend, Cristiano Ronaldo will still not score for Juventus.
Yes, thankfully. But he might score for Portugal. Actually, no, he won't. He's going to be taking the weekend off, much like you and I.
Exactly. Looking forward to that, quite honestly, Nick. Although what's interesting is 3 games in, Serie A's looking pretty interesting too, with Sassuolo and Fiorentina and Spal rounding up the top 4 underneath the great old Italian lady herself, Juventus, sitting number 1 in the tables. Fascinating stuff. Napoli coming off a loss their last match, but we will follow a little bit of Serie A because it is quite an interesting league, Nick.
Someone has to knock off Juventus this year. You know, Napoli came desperately close last year. Seriously, if they win it 8 years in a row,
they'll be like Bayern Munich.
I know. I mean, it's ridiculous. Come
right.
on.
Well, we're going to talk about this next week, Nick. 8 years in a row, 9 years in a row. What for Bayern Munich if they win it this year? I mean, it just doesn't. It's just not interesting.
It's not fun, is it?
It's not interesting. It's boring. And who wants to bet that? I mean, who wants to follow that? That's the point, folks. That's what we're getting at here. If it's Real Madrid and Barcelona every year, it's Real Madrid and Barcelona every year. It's boring. They may be the best teams in the world, but there's no competition there.
No competition, no.
No. You got to have at least more than one team. So thank God Alex Ferguson left. Now someone else can win the Premier League other than Man United. So, all right, folks, we'll talk about it more. We'll rejoin you on Monday. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Sports Byline USA, SB Nation, American Forces. Until then, you can find us on the web, fifthstreetsports.com. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk, or Twitter, Fifth Street Sports. And if you want to check out all of our old shows and archives and features, you can do that at youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports. By the way, if you enjoy the NFL and all that other American sports goodies, be sure to tune into Fifth Street Sports, not Fifth Street Soccer, Fifth Street Sports, 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. All right, folks, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Don't be a numpty, and we'll speak to you on Monday. For me, Nick Eber, my co-host Nick Webster, have a great weekend.
Ciao.
And you're clear. We'll talk to you Monday.
You
USA Radio News.
For USA Radio News, I'm Robin Walensky.
I'm sorry, I watched it, but I fell asleep. I found he's very good for sleeping.
President Trump entertaining the patriotic crowd at a rally in North Dakota as he mocks former President Obama, who came out swinging at him.